Bulbasaur. The bulb-like pouch on its back grows larger as it ages. The pouch is filled with numerous seeds. Ivysaur. The bud on its back apparently draws energy from its body. The bud is said to open into a large flower when fully grown. Venusaur. Absorbs solar energy as nutrition. When it is catching the sun's rays, it often remains quiet and still. Charmander. Even the newborns have flaming tails. Unfamiliar with fire, babies are said to accidentally burn themselves. Charmeleon. It appears to be very vicious. It attacks with razor-sharp claws and won't stop until the enemy is defeated. Charizard. Its fiery breath reaches incredible temperatures. It can quickly melt glaciers weighing 10,000 tons. Squirtle. It takes time for the shell to form and harden after hatching. It sprays foam powerfully from its mouth. Wartortle. The tail is covered with a rich fur. It stores air in the fur before taking extended dives underwater. Blastoise. It has spouts extending from its shell at the top. They spray water like cannons, hard enough to pierce concrete walls. Caterpie. It has large, eye-like patterns on its head as protection. They are used to frighten off enemies. Metapod. When it hardens, only the external shell is transformed. The inside remains tender. Butterfree. Its wings are covered with poisonous dust. If you see one flapping its wings, be careful not to inhale any of the dust. Weedle. A common sight in forests and grassy areas. Has a poison stinger on its head that may be used if you step on it. Kakuna. Because it is virtually motionless, it may appear dead. Inside, however, a new body is being made. Beedrill. Flies at high speeds and attacks with 3 stingers, one on its rear and one on each of its 2 forelegs. May appear in swarms. Pidgey. If at all possible, it will try to avoid battles. Small or weak enemies are blown away by whirlwind. Pidgeotto. It builds its nest in the center of its large territory. It uses its powerfully developed talons to swiftly snatch prey. Pidgeot. Capable of flying incredibly quickly. In full flight, by the time its flapping is heard, it is long gone. Rattata. Scurries around quickly, searching for hard objects to gnaw. It appears to be jittery and unable to remain still. Raticate. If attacked, it stands up on its hind legs, bares its fangs and shrieks in an intimidating manner at its enemy. Spearow. Its wings are short, so it can't fly a long distance. If it's not eating, it darts around in a hurry. Fearow. A Pokémon that enjoys flying. It uses its broad wings to adroitly catch the wind to soar elegantly into the sky. Ekans. Slithers silently through grass, searching for its favorite food, Pidgey and Spearow eggs. Arbok. If it encounters an enemy, it raises its head, intimidating the opponent with a frightening pattern on its body. Pikachu lives in forests away from people. It stores electricity in its cheeks for zapping an enemy if it is attacked. Raichu. Its electrical attacks may reach 10,000 volts. It discharges electricity from its tail, so it is not harmed by its own power. Sandshrew. When hunting, it hides at the lip of its burrow. If prey comes close, it lunges out and drags in the prey instantly. Sandslash. Curls into a ball of sharp spikes and rolls into enemies. It is also adept at slashing with its sharp claws. Nidoran. Female. Although small, it should be treated with caution because of its highly toxic thorns. The female has a small horn. Nidorina. The female is usually docile. However, if it becomes enraged, it will attack wildly with bites and scratches. Nidoqueen. Its super hard, needle-like scales stand up when excited. It uses its hefty bulk for performing powerful moves. Nidoran. Male. Its large ears sense danger. It extends its toxic spikes when angry. The size of its body thorns indicates its toxicity. Nidorino. Its horn is harder than diamond. If it punctures an enemy, it pumps powerful venom into the wound. Nidoking. Has a rock-hard hide that is worn like armor. The long horn on its head is sharp and highly venomous. Clefairy. Because of its adorable nature, it is in high demand as a pet. However, it is rare and found only in limited areas. Clefable. Its ears are very sensitive, so it does not like loud noises or busy places. Will not come out in front of people. Vulpix. A single, white-colored tail splits into 6 beautiful tails. As it grows older, it grows even more tails. Ninetales. It is extremely vindictive. It is said to lay a 1,000-year-long curse if its tail is pulled as a joke. Jigglypuff. It mesmerizes with its large, round eyes and sings a soothing melody. Pokémon hearing this song fall asleep. Wigglytuff. Its soft and supple skin allows it to expand like a balloon. If it gets angry, it inhales and inflates itself steadily. Zubat. It has neither eyes nor a nose. It emits ultrasonic cries that bounce back to its large ears, enabling it to fly safely. Golbat. Bites its prey and feeds on the victim's energy. Its own blood type changes to that of its victim. Oddish. Burrows underground in the day, exposing only its leaves. It is said to scream loudly if anyone tries to yank it out. Bloom. The horrible smelling pistil of this flower stinks over a mile away. Unwittingly inhaled, it can cause fainting. Vileplume. Scatters allergy-causing pollen from its broad petals. The larger the petals, the more pollen is scattered. Paris. Grows by sucking nutrients from the roots of trees. The mushrooms on its back grow by drawing extracts from the bug host. Parasitic. The bug host is controlled by the mushrooms that scatter poisonous spores. The spores are sometimes used as medicine in China. Venonat uses its large, radar-like eyes to move around in darkness. It is instinctively attracted to light. Venomoth. The powder on its wings is poisonous. It scatters the powder with every flap, so you may be poisoned if you are downwind. Diglet. Its head pokes up approximately 8 inches out of the ground. However, its real size remains a mystery to this day. Dugtrio. Diglet triplets that always travel together. Known to burrow more than 60 miles underground and trigger quakes. Meowth. Sleeps in the daytime. At night, its eyes glow as it happily collects coins, its favorite things. Persian. It is highly regarded as a pet for its beautiful fur. However, it is extremely temperamental and difficult to keep. Psyduck. Appears unaware and totally vacant. However, if its chronic headache worsens, it starts exhibiting peculiar powers. Golduck. Its webbed hands and feet make it a proficient swimmer. May be seen swimming elegantly at dusk in places like lakes. Mankey. Quick to anger, it will begin brawling on the slightest provocation. It is unsafe to approach as it is very nimble. Primate. When enraged, it gives chase endlessly. Because it is impossible to tell what made it angry, there is no soothing it. Growlithe. Friendly and loyal, but also jealously protective of its territory. Carelessly approaching it may result in a bite. Arcanine. A Pokémon whose beauty is legendary in China. It is said to run gracefully and lightly, as if it were flying. Poliwag. The spiral on its belly is its internal organ seen through its thin skin. It is better at swimming than walking. Poliwhirl. Capable of living on land, but prefers to stay in water. If it is out of water, it sweats to keep its skin moist. Poliwrath. A strong swimmer, it is faster than a human champ in an individual medley. It can go far and fast with minimal breathing. Abra. Even while asleep, it can sense enemies approaching. It teleports itself to a distant spot if there is any danger. Kadabra. When it uses psychic power, all its brain cells work in unison to generate powerful alpha waves. Alakazam. A Pokémon that uses psychic power. It is highly intelligent and capable of instantly identifying its foe's weakness. Machop. Its whole body is covered with muscles, so it can raise bulges anywhere. It can throw 100 adults. Machoke. Although it is incredibly strong, it is always modest. It restrains its strength with a power save belt. Machamp. Among its fighting moves is a simultaneous volley of an uppercut, hook, straight and karate chop from its forearms. Bellsprout. A kind of bug-eating plant that hunts small insects. It uses its roots as feet for walking. Weepinbell. Armed with razor-sharp leaves, it uses toxic pollen to immobilize its enemy and melts the helpless foe with acid. Victory bell attracts prey with sweet-smelling honey. Its prey include bugs, naturally, and even large animals on occasion. Tentacle fires beams of light from its clear eyes. Floats around in shallow waters and may sting unwary anglers. Tentacruel. It has 80 tentacles. Once they wrap around an enemy, the tentacles will not release, no matter what. Geodude. When traveling uphill, if it encounters a raised step, it cleverly hoists itself up and over using its two arms. Graveler. Rolls on steep mountainous trails. It plows through grass, trees and anything else that gets in its way. Golem. Its body, which weighs over 660 pounds, is as hard as stone. It grows bigger by shedding its skin once a year. Ponyta. Capable of jumping over the Eiffel Tower in a single giant leap. Its hooves are 10 times harder than diamonds. Rapidash. Unable to restrain itself from running after fast trains or cars. Capable of reaching 150 miles per hour at full speed. Slowpoke. A dopey Pokémon that remains in a daze except when fishing with its tail. Awake or asleep, there is little difference. Slowbro. If its tail is bitten by a shelter, Slowpoke evolves into Slowbro. The shelter seems to like its crunchy tail. Magnemite. Appears as if out of nowhere. It floats using anti-gravity and discharges electricity from two side-mounted units. Magneton. Formed by magnemite that link together when the number of black spots on the Sun increases. Fires high voltage power, etc. Farfetch'd. Always carries the stalk of an unidentified plant. The stalk is said to be used for making a nest or as a weapon. Doduo. A Pokémon with two heads. More skilled at running than flying. It is capable of racing at speeds over 60 miles per hour. Dodrio. The three heads express joy, sorrow and anger as they plan strategy together. When it sleeps, one head remains awake. Seal. It boasts a thick hide covered with light blue fur. It plows through ice floes even in water 40 degrees below zero. Dugong. It stores thermal energy inside its pure white, fur-covered body. It swims in frigid water at 8 knots. Grimer. Sludge that was transformed when exposed to X-rays from the moon. Loves sludge, industrial waste and other refuse. Muck. Becomes indistinguishable if it hides in dirt. Touching its sludge-covered body causes horrible poisonings. Shelter. Its shell is harder than diamond. It hides in sand on the sea floor and catches prey with its soft tongue. Cloister. Its shell is so hard, it can even withstand a bomb. No one has ever seen what is inside its shell. Ghastly. Made of a thin, gas-like substance that induces fainting if you get enshrouded in it. Will not appear if it is very windy. Haunter. If you trip and fall for no apparent reason or hear a sound when no one is around, it may be a haunter. Gengar. Appears to attack people who get lost in the mountains. Said to be the culprit behind shadows that laugh in the moonlight. Onyx. Its large body is over 26 feet long. Despite its size, it can squirm its way through the ground at 50 miles per hour. Drowsy. It puts its enemy to sleep and eats the victim's dreams. Said to have descended from the legendary beast, Baku. Hypno. If you lock eyes with it, it will try to hypnotize you. It is best to close your eyes quickly before you get hypnotized. Crabby. Lives on beaches and seashores. If a pincer falls off, a new, stronger pincer grows back in its place. Kingler. Said to be capable of prying open shelter and cloister shells using its 10,000 horsepower pincer. Voltorb. Usually found in power plants. In some instances, they have been seen drawing power from the trolleys of electric trains. Electrode. Stores enormous amounts of electricity within its body and explodes with the slightest provocation. Extremely dangerous. Execute. A Pokémon that is like the seeds of a plant. If you find one and chase it, others will join it without you noticing. Executor. Each of the fruits is an independently thinking head. It is said that if one drops off, it becomes an execute. Cubone. Always wears the skull of its deceased mother on its head and never shows its face. It cries mournfully in the moonlight. Marowak. Originally a small and weak Pokémon, it became rough and aggressive when it began using bones as weapons. Hitmonlee. Repeatedly kicks its enemy with legs that freely stretch and contract. Some people refer to it as the kicking master. Hitmonchan. Adept at punching invisibly quick at bullet train speed. It takes a break every 3 minutes as it moves around. Lickitung. Its tongue, twice its body's length, moves around freely to catch prey. Its licks cause a tingling sensation. Coughing. A Pokémon that is like a thin-skinned balloon filled with a highly toxic gas, known to occasionally explode. Wheezing. A twin coughing that forms on rare occasions where poisonous gases pool. Its two toxic gases appear to be different. Rhyhorn. Its bones are 1,000 times harder than human bones. Using its durability and strength, it can destroy tall buildings. Rhydon. Protected by an armor-like hide, it can survive in lava over 3,600 degrees. Its horn can bore holes through boulders. Chansey. Lays very succulent eggs every day. If it is treated with love and care, its eggs appear to become even more delicious. Tangela. Its identity is obscured by countless blue vines that are similar to seaweed. Will become entangled with anything. Kangaskhan. The female raises its young in its belly pouch for around 3 years. The young is taken out once it learns to find food. Horsey uses its tail to keep its balance while spraying ink from its mouth. The ink appears to be for shooting down bugs. Seadra, a clever Pokémon that can swim backwards while facing forward. Fainting may result from a jab of its sharp spikes. Goldeen. Its beautiful tail fin billows and flutters like an elegant dress. Swims at a speed of 5 knots. Seeking. In the autumn, they travel up rivers to spawn. In other seasons, they make and live in their own nests. Staryu. It is capable of growing back any portion of its body that is cut off. At night, the center core glows with a red light. Starmie. When away from human eyes, its core is said to glow mysteriously in 7 colors. This Pokémon may have come from outer space. Mr. Mime. It is an expert at miming and loves to perform. It is said to slap around anyone who disturbs it with its broad hands. Scyther. Moves incredibly quickly and shreds its enemy with its razor-sharp scythes. On rare occasions, it flies with its wings. Jinx. Talks in a strange, incomprehensible language. It is known for its weird wiggling that causes people to dance. Electabuzz. Appear in power plants in search of electricity. They are said to cause major blackouts if they disappear. Magmar. With a body temperature of close to 2,200 degrees, its body is always burning with orange flames. Lives near volcanoes. Pinsir. Grips and tears at its enemy with the 2 pincers on its head. Enemies with hard bodies are gripped and tossed. Taurus. Charges while whipping its hefty body with its tails. Although powerful, it can charge only in a straight line. Magikarp. Whoever its opponent, and however horrible the attack it receives, all it does is splash around. Gyarados. Extremely vicious and horribly brutal. Has enough destructive power to totally annihilate even a major city. Lapras. Capable of understanding the language of humans, it enjoys ferrying people on its back. It is on the verge of extinction. Ditto. Capable of reorganizing its cells to transform into an exact duplicate of its enemy. It is usually a shapeless blob. Eevee. Its genetic code is irregular. It evolves into 3 kinds of Pokémon when exposed to the radiation of elemental stones. Vaporeon. Found quietly resting by lake shores. Its cell structure is similar to water, so it can invisibly melt into water. Jolteon. Its weapons are its 10,000-volt electric attacks and its spiky fur. Its sharp hair can pierce enemies when it bristles. Flareon. Its fiery breath reaches close to 3,000 degrees. Its body temperature exceeds 1,650 degrees when storing fire inside. Porygon. A man-made Pokémon that consists entirely of programming code. It is capable of moving freely in cyberspace. Omanyte. a prehistoric and long-extinct Pokémon that was resurrected from a fossil. Swims by twisting its tentacles about. Omastar. Attacks by ensnaring its enemy with its tentacles and biting with sharp fangs. Its overly large shell makes it sluggish. Kabuto. A Pokémon that was resurrected from a fossil found in an ancient seabed. Unable to right itself if it is flipped over. Kabutops. Swims very quickly. It tears at its foe with sickle-like forelegs and drains the foe's body fluids entirely. Aerodactyl. A Pokémon that was resurrected from the genes of an ancient dinosaur. With sharp fangs, it is very vicious. Snorlax. A lazy Pokémon that gets continually fatter by sticking to a cycle of eating and sleeping. Awake only when it eats. Articuno. A legendary bird Pokémon with long and distinctive tail feathers. Said to appear if you are freezing on a snowy mountain. Zapdos. A legendary bird Pokémon that appears with a gigantic thunderstorm. It flies with the buzz and crack of electricity. Moltres. A legendary bird Pokémon known as the Firebird. Every time it flaps, its wings flare and burn brightly. Dratini. Even the young are known to exceed 6'6". It is rare and was long considered to exist only in myth. Dragonair. Lives in large bodies of water like the sea and lakes. It is said to have the power to change the weather and fly. Dragonite. Has intelligence on par with people. This sea guardian is said to be capable of flying around the globe in about 16 hours. Mewtwo. A vicious psychic Pokémon created by genetic engineering. Its cold, glowing eyes strike fear into its enemy. Mew. A mythical Pokémon of South America which had been thought extinct. A growing number of people have seen it recently.